Hi, my name is LaPayower, and this is LaPayower Report, the fundamental talk show program where I conduct conversations with individuals who have unique skills and talents. On today's program, our topic for this conversation will be about lung disease and awareness. I have 4 guests to talk about the topic. I have with me on my right, I have Joanne Ilucci. I also have to Joanne's right, Alice Stingo-Romano. I also have Andrea Weisner and Roseanne Greco. Joanne, Alice, Andrea, Roseanne, welcome to the program. Before we get started onto the program, I want to acknowledge 2 things. Back in April, there was the issue in Boston during the marathon, and I said on the program, if anyone out there wants to make an outreach of a donation, they could donate to the American Red Cross. And after I said those words on a show done here at the studio, one of the producers had a representative from the American Red Cross. I showed him the proof of the program, and the representative's name is Alexander P. Luce, so he sent me my own official American Red Cross pin. And also, I wanted to give a special thanks for the past couple months to the accounting firm of AJC Advisors. So now we're going to begin our program. Joanne, thanks for coming on the program.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. Now, you are and our topic here is about lung disease, but mainly it's about C.O.P.D, which is the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Tell us about it.
Actually, that's a umbrella term.
Really?
For emphysema. It means that you have emphysema, bronchitis, asthma, and it's just all around.
Okay.
12 million people in the United States have COPD, and the main cause is from smoking.
Okay.
But that's not the only reason why you would get COPD too. Certain people have what's called alpha-1, which is a non-smoking lung disease. It's a form of emphysema, genetic, hereditary, and it's also the most undiagnosed form of COPD. And if you smoke, you really need to quit smoking, because I smoked from the age of 12.
Really?
12 years old, I started. By 13, I was a pro, and I smoked all the way until I had COPD.
And what age would that be?
Well, when I was 37
Okay.
years old, they told me already that I should quit smoking because I had signs of emphysema, and I thought, you're crazy.
Okay.
You know, and I kept smoking.
Now, this is from regular cigarettes, not from menthol brand or any type of. This is just regular brand of cigarettes.
Yeah, not smoking pot, no.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow.
No.
Wow.
No, regular smoking.
Gotcha.
And it brought me to a very dark place by the time I was like 49, 50. And then after that, I was put on oxygen,
Really?
24/7. And I was in the hospital. It causes what they call flare-ups.
Okay.
Where when you have any form of COPD or emphysema, you tend to get sick a lot. And you get these things, flare-ups, where you end up in the hospital because there's air trapping in your lungs. So your lung that goes like this
Yes.
only goes like this.
Okay.
And there is where they told me that I had maybe a year at the time to live, and I needed a transplant, like right away.
Okay. And from what you told me, you said you have received not a single lung, but a double lung.
No, I was supposed to get a double.
You're supposed to get double. So
But-
a double lung does exist.
A double lung, yeah, absolutely. I was supposed to get a double lung,
Okay.
but because of the lack of donors, I had to take one.
Gotcha.
They asked me if I would take one, and I was so bad that
Right.
I wanted one if I could get one, and I didn't mind sharing with anybody, and the one did me right. So
Really?
I can do everything that I couldn't do before, thanks to my donor, of course.
Okay.
And
Who was the donor by any chance?
New York Columbia Presbyterian.
Okay.
Dr.
So they
Gloria
found
Shaw.
so they found someone They had, of course, had to match the same blood type, correct?
Right, which I was rare.
Okay.
But then I was hospitalized in March.
Okay.
And in March is when they said I had maybe 3 months, three
Okay.
to 6. And they put New York Columbia reevaluated me, put me on the list in May, and by the end of June 2012, I got my lung transplant
Okay.
left,
Okay.
which they said they would prefer the right one because the right load, your right lung has 3 loads. Your left lung has 2.
Okay.
So I have 2, one good one with 2 loads and one that's still C.O.P.D.
Gotcha. Okay, now we have also your sister, Alice Stingo-Romano. You have, I just want to say thank you for coming on the program.
Thank
You are very supportive of your sister, correct?
Yes.
Do you, besides, what's your involvement with the C.O.P.D.? Or
Well, watching a family member have COPD emphysema, which was our mother, who
Gotcha.
passed in August
okay,
4th, 3 years ago.
okay,
To watch that, and then to watch my sister
yeah,
suffering, couldn't catch her breath. It was very devastating to the family. Watching her get surgery and come out of this and be so strong and positive, and she could probably run quicker than I can right now.
I don't run, I only walk.
All right, speed walk.
Okay.
To watch that, she has a lot of family members that, you know, helped her. She needed all the help she could get. We have our father who lives in Florida,
My
who
husband.
came up from Florida to help. Her children, who are my niece and my nephews,
Right.
and my children, who are her nephews,
Okay.
all chipped in and helped and did what we had to get her to where she is today. And I'm happy that she made it and got the lung transplant.
Okay,
But this is what smoking does to you.
absolutely. Smoking can really cause a lot in your lungs. It could also go into other places into the body too.
Yes.
Oh,
Believe it or not.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Lung cancer is number
Absolutely.
1.
Right.
But it also causes finding out colon cancer.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. And we have now Andrea Weisner. You do you did help out Joanne by coordinating a fundraiser. Tell us about that.
Well, I helped Joanne really just mostly with ideas about how we could raise money
Okay.
to, the money goes.
Now this is nonprofit, correct?
It's nonprofit.
Okay.
The money does not go directly to Joanne.
Okay.
The money goes to an organization that, the organization is called Help Hope Live.
Okay.
And what happens is when we raise any money from a fundraiser, the money goes to Help Hope Live. They in turn pay her medicine bills, things like that. She has to prove everything. So nothing goes to Joanne. It's not like a money-making thing.
Gotcha.
But what people don't know is that once somebody has a transplant, it's not over. That's the beginning of everything. The medical bills, the nurse visits constantly, every month going back and forth to the doctor. The co-pays, as you know, are horrific. That's even with good insurance. But the drug bills, people with transplants are on anti-rejection medicine for the rest of their life. Those bills are amazing.
Okay.
So what we've done so far, we've had a bowl-a-thon, which we're going to be having another one in a few weeks. We've walked over the Brooklyn Bridge to raise money,
Oh, really?
which Joanne did, and
I did it the whole way.
She made it back and forth.
Okay.
And some local restaurants have provided dining out nights where a portion of our checks
Yes.
will go to Help Hope Live.
Okay.
Now in the future, we plan on having a series of home events, which will also raise funds.
Okay.
And all these ideas and details are on Joanne's Facebook page,
Okay.
which is on the screen.
I believe we do have a name. It's called
Yes.
Joanne's Journey.
Yes,
And
Joanne.
also, I think it was Quit Smoking.
There's
Breathe
Yeah,
another one
it's
for
not
smoking,
really
yes.
easy because I
So
help
all
a
the
lot of people.
details on how to raise money or help Joanne raise money are on the credits.
Okay.
So thank you.
Sounds very good. And now the last guest, Roseanne Greco. Now, you do not have COPD,
No.
but you have something different. It's what can you tell us about the condition that you have?
It's called cystic fibrosis. It's mainly a genetic childhood disease. You're born with it. Right now, there is no cure. Basically, it's everybody has a certain channel of saline in their lungs to help them loosen the mucus.
Yes.
That's one of the channels that I'm missing.
Okay.
So I barely have any saline in my system
Okay.
to help loosen up the mucus. So in order for me to do that, I do respiratory treatments in the morning.
Okay.
I do about an hour to an hour and a half to 2 hours in the morning and at night. And I do pulmonary rehab Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays
Okay.
as part of requirement for double lung transplant. Back then, they didn't know what the life expectancy was. They would give my family roughly amount of she will live no more than 12 years of age.
Okay.
Right now, today, I'm 30,
Wow.
and I'm waiting for a double lung transplant.
But it's also amazing that you said that based on the condition you have, most
Right.
people live up to age 12.
Yes.
You're now at age 30.
Yeah. I've been on the list for 5 years.
Okay.
I was diagnosed at 3 months of age. I don't remember if I told you.
Yes.
And I'm listed over at Columbian Presbyterian and University of Penn Medical Center.
Okay. By any chance in your family, is there anyone that smokes?
My mom smoked. My aunts, they all smoked.
Really?
My father's mother smoked. My grandfather smoked. So there's
But you do not smoke.
no, never got it from
And
smoking.
somehow,
It's just
like
genetic.
some genetic.
Yeah, all genetic. And you know, it's very important that you have a very strong support system while you're dealing with coping with this disease. And before transplant, they want to see you have a strong support system during transplant
Yeah.
and after.
Okay.
You could get the disease, you get very depressed, you have a lot of anxiety. You feel like you're alone
Gotcha.
half the time. I'm the type of person that likes to go out. You know,
That's good.
I'm outgoing, and I don't get to do much of that.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that this will make people aware that organ donation is very important,
Yes.
that it will save a life.
Okay. Just curiosity, what would you do? What do you do for leisure time?
I like to make my own jewelry.
Oh yeah.
I like to go ice skating. I love to dance. I love the beach. Like just sitting out in the sun
Okay.
and vacationing.
Gotcha. By any chance, you play any sports?
I played softball as a kid,
Oh,
but
yeah?
that's really as far as I've gotten.
Okay. Okay. Now we go back to Joanne here, and we mentioned before. I think you have a Facebook site
I do.
called Joanne's Journey.
Right?
And tell us about Joanne's Journey.
Well, it's a lot about my medical condition, C.O.P.D.
Yeah.
I talk about all the rough patches that you go through with the transplant because, like Andrea said, when you get transplanted, it's not over, it's just the beginning.
Exactly.
I put all my accomplishments on there about what I can do, which is practically everything. And this way, I'm hoping that it reaches other people, especially young kids, with the smoking. Maybe they won't smoke. Us old people here, we already know the facts of what smoking can do. These younger kids don't. And today, COPD is getting you younger and younger,
Yes.
and you're going to die.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to put the signs of COPD out there that you should look for and be aware of, which is shortness of breath,
Yeah.
bronchitis, wheezing, mucus buildup in your chest,
Of course.
and low numbers, like O2 numbers. If you feel that, and a cough, you have to have that productive cough. And once you have that, over the time, it progresses deeper and deeper.
Yes.
So if you feel that, you need to go and get yourself checked
Okay.
to live longer, because I didn't. And by the time I switched from Staten Island doctors who did nothing but give me an inhaler and told me there was no hope for me,
Yeah.
I switched my doctor to NYU,
Okay.
Suzanne Garofano, who saved my life.
Okay.
And I was already at the end of stage 4
Okay.
by the time, and I didn't even know that COPD came in stages.
Nice.
I thought it was just one big fat disease,
Mhm.
you know, and that's it. But luckily, I have a good husband. My husband Jimmy, who ended up doing all my food shopping, my
That's good.
cleaning on Saturdays, my laundry. I have my sisters, Alice, with my other sister Patricia, my nieces, my nephews, my kids.
How many kids do you have?
I have 4,
Yeah.
3 boys and 1 girl. Yep, who became a nurse. Hey,
Gotcha.
Nicole.
By any chance, do any of the kids smoke?
No.
That's good.
Thank God. Yeah, no. I guess, and I'm hoping they learn by me. But they were my motivation to keep going. My kids, my dad. Hi, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my sisters.
Okay. You have children also, correct? Alice?
Yes, I do.
How many children?
I have 3 boys.
3 boys. Any of them smoke?
Actually, my oldest son does.
Really?
Yeah, can't do
My
nothing
2
about it.
youngest ones, Dominic and Joseph, don't smoke.
Okay. Do you, let me ask this question here. How old was he when he first started smoking?
My son,
Yeah.
he was about 16.
Okay. So he started a little bit older. Okay. Was there a purpose of him smoking, by any chance?
Yeah, he followed in my footsteps.
Really?
Yes,
So you were a smoker.
I am a smoker.
You're still smoking now?
I'm trying to quit.
Okay.
It's very. I see what my sister went through.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through that,
Right.
but I have a hard time just letting it go.
Okay.
I'm going to try again.
Because I understand right now, these days, they have special therapy to actually make you or anyone out there first to basically, they call it cold turkey, like physically stop smoking altogether.
That's what I
Well,
did.
my mother did that, and my sister did that, and
Yeah.
like I said, these 2 women are the strongest women I
Yeah.
ever met in my life because
Yeah.
I tried.
And I used to talk like you.
I tried. Talk like me. I
Yeah, he's the
tried
head. He
to
wants to wave the
quit.
microphone. Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's fine.
tried to quit a
Yeah.
couple of times. I even bought the
The patches?
the fake
The
cigarette, the
e-cigarette.
Really?
water, yes. And I did it for 12 days,
Really?
and then I go back to it.
Okay.
But I will try again.
It's the very hardest thing to do, and I was told by a drug addict that to quit smoking is harder than quitting drugs.
Yes.
And
is
so
very
the
hard.
same way I found my way, I believe she's gonna find her way too.
I just hope it doesn't happen like it happened with her.
Yes.
I hope I can find my way quicker because I'm not as strong as her.
Gotcha.
If I went through what she went through, I no.
Okay. And Andrea, is there any future fundraisers coming out that you know of?
We have a
October.
bowl-a-thon in October. I don't know
Okay.
the exact date yet.
I don't know.
Okay.
There will be a local restaurant in September
Mm-hmm.
that is going to have a night for Joanne where we will be handing out flyers,
Mm-hmm.
and all you have to do is bring the flyer into that restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
and they will take a portion of your check and donate it to her cause.
Okay.
And as I said, also the home parties.
Okay.
So
Okay. I just wanted to point out real quick. Note the shirt. If we go to camera number 1, please. The camera number 1 for the shirt I'm wearing. If we could take down the logo real fast. Joanne, can you explain the shirt I'm wearing, as well as our own my technical director, Guy K. Comier. Explain about this shirt. It's like a 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, my 1-year anniversary.
Okay.
My brother-in-law Steve Sonnet made them for me. Because my anniversary was here, and that's the day I worked.
Okay.
I walked the Brooklyn Bridge for
Okay.
the first time, and I made it all the way to Dumbo and back, and I even
Down
went
underneath the Manhattan Bridge overpass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was fun. We did the.
There was a lot of people there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
And I made it happy for some of these regular people that don't smoke.
And this was on her bucket list. That
Yeah,
she
really?
did,
I have a few things on my bucket
that
list.
she did when she was sick before her transplant. She kept telling her family, "I'm going to walk that Brooklyn Bridge,"
Okay.
and we were praying she was gonna, and she did it.
Yeah.
And she probably could have walked again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Okay. And Roseanne,
Right.
for you, okay, so you said so 5 years. So the waiting list is 5 years. From today's date, how many more years do you have to go for a transplant?
Well, the doctors say that UNOS goes by your PFTs, how
Okay.
low your PFTs are. UNOS goes by blood type. It goes by the size
Okay.
and the size of your lungs.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of time on how sick you get, and that's puts you as high as the list as your 6-minute walks,
Yeah.
your breathing tests, like I said, and going back to what I said about CF, why it's caused. I made a mistake. It's the lack of salt
Okay.
that's in your lungs. I don't have the salt to loosen up the mucus
Really?
in the lungs. I said saline because saline is a very salty substance that they use for
Okay.
patients with IV,
Yeah.
with flushing out their IVs with medications. For instance, if I went to the beach and the water was very salty, it's like heaven because you could breathe,
Yeah.
because you feel it going through your respiratory system.
Gotcha.
With lung transplant, it's like a pair of shoes. You wear your shoes until they get old.
Yeah.
And once they get old, you need a new pair. You need to get a new pair before you go somewhere. You need to get a new pair of lungs before you die.
Gotcha.
And there's a lot of people that are dying while they're waiting.
Right.
We
So
need
if-
more
Because there's a
donors.
shortage.
We need 19% of all New York State.
Yes.
That's all we have that signed up for organ donation is 19%. And
Okay.
we're in the Big Apple. We should have a whole lot more than that. And so that's another thing that we're hoping for, to gain more donors
Okay.
We definitely need
so
more
that we
donors.
don't lose people that are on the waiting list.
But I've been on the list for a long time because of the complication of my chest cavity and the size.
Gotcha.
I need child lungs, not
Okay.
adult lungs.
You need child lungs.
Yes, I need small lungs.
Really?
I had to have small ones too. I don't know how small, but they're small.
And if they're a little bigger, they can trim them down, as you
Right.
told me.
Right.
I guess
Well, that's a very
they-
tough procedure because.
depending on how big the lungs are compared
Right.
to your chest cavity, they can see of how much they're able to trim down.
Gotcha. I didn't realize they had, they could do that these
But they
days.
can't, yeah, they do. And they can't take huge lungs. They can take them a little bit bigger and shave them. But if they took too big a lungs, they're
It'd
still not
damage
going
the
to fit.
lung.
And then if they take them too small,
Right.
they're just not going to fit in there. They'll wobble.
Right.
So
And
they won't work.
for CF and COPD,
Yeah.
COPD patients can have transplants one at a time. So they can get one lung, wait, and get another. CF needs two, because if you get one, the disease is going to transfer directly to the other lung. It's going to disease the other lung all over again.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. We're definitely coming down to the last few minutes left. Anything else, Joanne, that you want to cover before we end it?
Well,
wrap up
if
the
you
show?
have COPD, you're going to be checked for it.
Yeah.
You have to stay strong. You cannot let the disease take over, and you got to be active. You got to exercise. I'm a firm believer in pulmonary rehab. Exercise, stretch a lot because you open up your lungs, and slow down the progress if you have it before you end up at the last stage. And then there's no, don't let a doctor tell you there's nothing they can do for you. You go until you find somebody to do something for you.
Okay.
You
And
know,
Alice, what about
and
you?
laugh a
Okay.
lot.
Alice, what about you? Any final thoughts?
No, not really. I'm just proud of my sister. Very proud of her.
Oh, I'm proud of you
Okay.
too.
I love
I love
Okay.
you too.
Okay, and Andrea, what about you?
I think Joanne is one of the strongest women I've ever met. I've seen her go from being told she has only a few months to live
Yeah.
and watching her go through this regeneration, and it's just amazing what an organ donation can do. And I also believe that people need to
Donate.
look into donating, because as that bumper sticker reads, you can't take it with you.
Yeah.
So
Very
really,
true.
you really need to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, Roseanne, what about you?
I met Joanne off of Facebook
Okay.
through lung transplant support group, and I remember she was slowly coming to transplant. And I remember her writing saying she got her call, and I saw her today, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, we met for the first time today.
I didn't know what she looked like before her transplant, but she looks wonderful now. And I hope, I'm waiting, I hope I get
You're
my
gonna get
chance.
it.
Okay. Okay, well, definitely, Joanne, Alice, Andrea, Rosanna, I definitely thank the four of you coming on program. And to the viewers out there, if anyone wants to reach out to Joanne, they can find her on Facebook, as well as Joanne's Journey and Quit Smoking, Breathe Easy. For myself, if anyone out there wants to reach out to me, they could physically contact me at the studio at Stand on CTV, or they could email me at LaPayower@gmail.com. They could also find me on Facebook, the LaPayower Report on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. And also a very special thanks to, of course, like I said earlier, the American Red Cross, and also the accounting firm of AJC Advisors. And to the viewers out there, my name is Brian LaPayower, and you're watching LaPayower Report. Thank you for watching.